Howdy Tamers, and welcome to another Digimon unboxing. This time I'm going to be unboxing and taking a look at the Digimon Color Godzilla 70th Anniversary Edition, and in a similar way to the Monster Hunter Digimon Color, this is a collaboration which has the sort of same gameplay as all the other Digimon Color releases. So in terms of connectivity, that means while it does have the two prongs at the top here, they are only compatible with the other Digimon Color releases and not just all of the prongs that have the two prongs there. So similar, I'm pretty sure you just press the C button and it plays a little startup tune. So similar to the Monster Digimon Color, it has a bunch of cute little sound jingles that are unique to this release. There are two shells and both of them are the same in terms of gameplay. So this is the shell that I've got. In terms of where you can get these, this video is not sponsored by any storefront, but you can get them pretty much anywhere you would expect to get all of your other Digimon Color releases. So I got mine from ZenTCG. This isn't sponsored by them. Of course, you can buy from elsewhere, like you can use a proxy service like Buyee and from Japan or any other proxy services there, and you could have got them just by putting in the Premium Bandai link there. However, as for a lot of the Digimon Color releases, they are Premium Bandai Japan only, so you kind of want to get them on release rather than after the fact, but I know that other storefronts like, again, Zen and TCG do still have them as far as I'm aware. So there is that. So we start with our little baby there, so we can check its stats here. And it's because it's got a unique gauge here, we've got for the G evolutions, so we can get different Godzilla forms and different kaiju there. Oh, the game's different. I wonder, oh, that's interesting. It's not just a usual, okay, so we have to attack high or low. That's unique, that's pretty cool. I'm glad that we've got a different game to either the other releases there where it's just kind of, okay, this one's more standard, it's a button mashing. But yeah, this is actually surprising. I was expecting either like fill up the gauge by pressing the button when it's full, or button mashing so it's full, or whatever the other forms of, like all the other forms of the bricks have had. But this one has two stages. It's got like a attack high or low depending on where the target is, and then button mashing to defeat an enemy. So that is pretty unique, pretty cool there. We've got our battle, which we can't do at the moment because it's a baby, but I'm pretty sure that the battle would be more or less the same. But so far, I'm actually really impressed with that being a unique game. Which, again, I go into a lot of these fairly blind. I feel like that's the best way to get my first impressions, is to experience it firsthand in these sort of unboxing videos. So that's pretty neat. What else do we have here? We have our album where we can look at the other characters we've had. Of course, we only have the baby at the moment. We've got close-ups which are back, which we saw on the releases like the Pendulum Z, and I believe the DMX had them, but we haven't really seen them outside of that, so that's pretty nice to see again. And yeah, so, and then we have the Pooh. The Pooh sprite is pretty bog standard, no pun intended, and we clean it up. We've got our lights, we've got our Denki, our lights, we've got our cold, which is like when you want to put them in the freezer, and we've got the save where you can kind of put it into backup and start a new egg. So pretty much standard there, those are the only two options there, yep. So pretty standard there in terms of the other color releases. And we've got our food and our protein. Same sprites as the Digimon Color, we don't have too many different sprites like we saw on the Monster Hunter one. We're back to just standard sprites that you would expect. The Monster Hunter one did have bigger, nicer, more detailed sprites, but at the cost of some of the sprite animations just making it look like it's kind of floating across the screen. So we'll hold C, and we've got different options here. We've got the brightness, we've got the sound, we've got the ability to turn it off. We've got the volume here. I always have it on the lowest one because I find that the highest is a little bit ear-piercing. So nothing too different there. We've got our brightness. I usually put that also to... Oh, that doesn't really show up on camera well. I will change it later then. But yeah, you can change the brightness there. And we've got our backgrounds. So we have like a standard like cage there, which is pretty neat. And then we've got our background there that we start with. We do unlock more as we evolve and battle through the quest, which is again not available at the moment because it is a baby. Now, as far as I'm aware, because I did ask around this because I noticed that it wasn't present in the Monster Hunter Digimon Color releases, and that's the background changing depending on the time of day. Now, as far as I'm aware, this does have that. The Monster Hunter one did not. Let's just change it just to take a look. 8 PM, yep, see, it's now changed to nighttime. So we'll change that back to the current time there. And it's gone back to the day. So I'm glad that's back. That was one of the things I wasn't a huge fan of from the Monster Hunter one because that was a cute little feature that I didn't expect from the original Digimon Color releases. So I'm glad to see that that's back. Again, I don't know why it wasn't in the Monster Hunter one because the Monster Hunter Digimon had evolutions that were time dependent on when it evolved. So the fact that it used that but didn't have the changing background depending on the time of day, that felt weird, but this one does have it back, so that is really good. Again, it is such a minor thing, it doesn't change like the gameplay. It's just a cute little, I don't know, little detail that means nothing to the actual toy and the actual gameplay, but it's just kind of nice to see. So I am glad that that's back. But otherwise, yeah, I'll do a full review video like I usually do for my releases there because there's not much to really say at the moment because it's just a baby. I want to go through and evolve it, see how the sprites look, see how the gameplay is, see what the battle and quest functionality is. Not expecting anything too different, but again, I am really surprised that the training is actually unique. It's not just, again, the same as we've got in other virtual pets that are quite similar. All the other colours sort of have the same sort of training that are either reminiscent of any of the previous Digimon Brick releases. This one, again, it feels unique, and that was a complete surprise to me. Again, I don't really look into these too much. When I have them on the way, I want to experience them when I get them. So that is something I'm really surprised about. The shell's pretty nice. I do like the fact that it's got, you know, this Godzilla version of Metal Greymon. I'm a fake Digimon fan. Sorry, I'm thinking about my Dino Digimon deck, so I've got Metal Tyrannomon on the brain, I suppose. But yeah, they're pretty nice release. We can see the characters. We've got Mothra, which I'm hoping for. I would really like to get Mothra. We've got various forms of Godzilla, and of course, other kaiju as well. I think his name is like Ghidorah or King Ghidorah, something like that. I don't know, I'm a fake fan, but very cool. So you get sort of like a preview of the characters that you expect to see on this. I'm not a giant fan of kaiju. Like, it's not like I don't like them, I just haven't seen many of the movies. I mean, there are lots of movies because it's been going on for 70 years. So there's lots of different movies. I've seen I think I've seen an old Mothra movie, and I've seen some of the newer Godzilla movies, but that's about it. That's sort of the extent of my knowledge. So this is kind of nice. I was a fan of the Digimon version 5, which of course had kaiju inspired Digimon, so this feels like a nice little almost sequel to that. So that's pretty cool. And again, it uses USB-C to charge, so it does come with a cable here, but because it is the year 2025, kind of everything charges with a USB-C cable. So you probably already have a bunch of these, but it does come with a cable, and it just sort of, this little rubber thing slips to the side and you charge it. Same with all the other color releases that we've had that use the USB-C. But in any case, that's basically all I have to say at the moment. So far I'm really impressed. Again, I expected it to be more or less just the same as all of the other color releases. I felt like it would probably be the same as the release for the Digimon Monster Hunter one, but this one seems actually unique again from that, so that's pretty cool. But in any case, those are my thoughts so far on the Digimon Godzilla. Of course, I'll be doing a more in-depth review once I spend a little bit more time on this. But yeah, those are my thoughts for now. So if you have any comments, questions, etc., let me know in the comment section below. Like this video for Digimon doing something different and having a different training game. Again, I know I've said that about 4 or 5 times now, but I'm impressed by that, so yay. But yeah, so subscribe if you haven't already, and if you have subscribed, tell your friends, tell your neighbors, tell your enemies, and of course, I'll see you in the next video. Bye!